criteria for EB-1A are a bit contrived. Like, it's a criteria list of 10 different things that USCIS considers evidence of your extraordinary ability. But that doesn't mean those things are the only evidence of extraordinary ability, and actually in particular fields, sometimes they're just not relevant at all, and we would be better served by a whole different list of criteria. So there's some gamesmanship that you have to engage in when building for EB-1A. I've worked with a lot of really extraordinary people who really just need to add one criteria, and so we usually work on judge of the work of others, even though it's not something that they would naturally do in their field. But their other criteria really carry the day because that's where they have really become extraordinary in their career. So judge of the work of others is just something that we add for profile building to finalize it and to make it approvable. But what USCIS is approving the case on is their leadership, for example, in growing a company from one employee to thousands, or something like that. So where this comes into play with senior level professionals is it's really useful because they've already have this naturally built career with a lot of markers of extraordinary ability and all of that. You can take that in direct contrast to a lot of people who are like really obsessed with profile building, and sometimes they're either more junior or they are senior, but they don't have that cohesive career narrative. Like, they haven't really built up expertise in a particular area. And you can kind of tell that they've just gone for profile building. Like, the kinds of activities and the lineups that they have on their resume are very targeted towards those EB-1A criteria. There's really not much else on the profile except for EB-1A criteria. Like, they will have media coverage, they will have judging slots, they will have some authored papers, and then they may have like a couple higher level memberships or something like that. If that is all you have, like that, and maybe a critical role at a big company like a FANG company, it's not as good as the person who built up their career naturally and then just added one or two things on at the end. It's much less persuasive to USCIS to see a profile like that. So profile building, I think, has become popular with a lot of junior people because they're seeing it as a way to really get a green card actually within a reasonable amount of time. Like, let's be honest, the people who are doing profile building are from India and China. No one else in the world has to engage in this game. So like we totally understand why they do it, and it is important to have that in mind and to consider EB-1A as part of the long-term strategy. But it's just like profile building is actually better for more senior career professionals who already have a lot of these markers of extraordinary ability and just need a few extra things to kind of solidify the case so that it works with the regulations. I do feel a little bit bad that so many junior people are getting caught up in some of these activities when, like, the key thing they need to do is build their expertise in their field and not necessarily all of these markers. And, that's not to say it doesn't work for everyone. Like, some of these cases will get approved, but not very many. And then for those that aren't approved, sometimes it is a long journey because all the profile building is complete except for that key piece of having real deep expertise in a niche area.